Good morning. Let's see if TikTok forgives me today. TikTok was mad at me yesterday. We are letting more viewers know you're live. Thanks, TikTok. I hope that's true. I hope it's true. My community is very busy at the moment. I keep getting notifications. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to a spot of live coaching on this beautiful Tuesday here on TikTok. I think my daughter wants to be in the video. Hi. Sim, eu falo português. Alice fala português também, né? Sim. Good morning, Anthony. My daughter was just poking her head on. Hello, good morning. So welcome to today's live. I have made it on. I've made it on at my usual time. She's getting too big for naps. She's like 4.5 now and she's over napping. So she may be joining me sometimes because she likes to be on a video, don't you, Cece Beans?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, if you could not wave my hair around though, it would be better. That's all right. So, I'm not over naps. No, I'm not over naps either. I like naps. Why don't you like naps, Cece? Naps are great.
That's because I don't get tired.
You don't get tired. She wakes up at 6:30 and doesn't get tired.
I'm going to wake up all the days.
Right, what was I going to say? What was this morning's video about? Let me think. What did I make a video about this morning, Cece Beans? Yesterday's video was about saying yes.
Yeah.
Yes, saying yes to things. And today's video, I know, it was about talking to your intuition. And I actually did, I wrote a LinkedIn post about it as well. Anthony, I'm sick of this crypto doing nothing. Is it not doing anything? Okay, you can stay here, but you can't sing, okay, my boo-boo baby? Is crypto doing nothing? My boss for the AI pieces that I'm doing has realised that his strategy of me writing pieces on LinkedIn is not going to work, or it's not working. So he's asked me to stop doing that for a little while, so I haven't done any for 2 weeks, all sideways for weeks now. Boring. So intuition, so I wrote a piece on LinkedIn this morning about how intuition can help you at work. So I read a story a long time ago now about the owner of Mind Valley. Mind Valley is an online education platform where you can learn things like how to lucid dream, or how to create a life book. I did a course about life book. How to meditate properly, like so many courses. I can't think of any at the moment, but there are so many amazing courses by really well-known, highly regarded teachers. And he came up with Mind Valley and got to where he is by using his intuition, and particularly by using his intuition at work in the corporate role. So he used to work in sales, and when he was picking names out of a phone book of who to call to try and make sales to, instead of going down the list, he would use his intuition. So he would he would look at the list of names in the phone book, right? Because people used to work that way. My gosh. And see if he got a feeling about a certain name. And if he got a feeling about that name, he would give them a call. And this worked really, really well for him in his sales career. He was able to rise quickly to the top of the company. He made a lot of money, and then stuff happened and he opened Mind Valley. I can't remember. But I also used to do it a little bit in my role as a financial analyst. So when I was working as a financial analyst, part of what I did was analyze finances, right? And I would check data for inconsistencies, for problems, because we used to get a lot of raw data. In finance, it's all lines of stock, so you get a lot of data about each stock, and that all needs to feed through perfectly in order to calculate the numbers, like to see how well you're doing, right? And that was my job, to do that and to check that it was all done properly. And so I would look for problems. A big part of that job is looking for problems. And I found that my intuition would give me feelings whenever there was something wrong with the numbers. Thomas, is it a pink cat? Is what a pink cat? I missed some context on that, I think. But I found that when I was checking for numbers, my gut would usually give me a signal if there was something wrong with the finances. And I wasn't very good at listening to it because I didn't really enjoy my finance job that much. Although my job was to look for problems, I didn't like looking for problems. And so when my gut flagged an issue to me, I often ignored it. And when I did, the company would usually end up having to swallow some costs associated with me having ignored my gut. So at some point I realised, like, if I get a feeling about a number, it means there's something wrong. It's going to be much less work for me if I just address the problem initially, rather than allowing the problem to slip by and costing myself and the company time and money, right? So I was able to use my intuition in my finance role, even though it was a corporate role, even though I didn't know anything really about intuition at that time, but I knew that I was getting feelings. And so I was able to use that to help me work. I've got like something in my mouth. I need to get some water. That's really weird. Hang on. Are we getting any answers on this pink cat? Pardon? Is it a pink cat? We don't know. So you can use your intuition in your daily life, even if you don't live an intuitive lifestyle, even if you have a 9-to-5, even if you are in a corporate role, or if you are an entrepreneur. What's hubby do while you're live? He's over there. He's over there on the couch. What do you do while I'm live?
I watch you.
Sometimes he watches. Sometimes he comes on the live with me. Sometimes he naps. And now that Elise doesn't like napping anymore, sometimes he gets her snacks and stuff. That's what he was just doing then. So that's what I wrote a piece about on LinkedIn this morning, because I figured it was a kind of corporate opportunity. Am I going to say that? No, I'm going to make a video about it later. Can't belong to a you move. So we've actually decided to delay the move. We are trying to talk to the hotel owner, where we're going to be taking over, just to like sort out some logistics, talk dates, talk money, get some idea of how things run. But we haven't been able to get a hold of him. It's been 2 weeks now. So we're trying to have a conversation with him about it. But so we were supposed to move in like 4 weeks, but because we haven't been able to speak to the guy, like we don't want to hand in our notice to our landlord, pull the kids out of school and stuff before we've even spoken to him. So we've decided I'm going to be really busy the last 2 weeks of July and the first week of August. So we can't move during that time, but we've decided it would be better for that busy time when I'm busy with work that we're here, so that we know I have a space to sit, I have the internet, and all that stuff, because some of that stuff can take a long time to get sorted out when you move, right? So we're now going to move mid-August, assuming we can get hold of the guy and speak to him. This is so Brazil. Mid-August, so that's like 2.5 months, right? 2.5 months, which I feel a lot better about, because we hadn't done anything ready for the move. And like I was kind of waiting for my intuition, some signal, some sign that we should start doing things. And my husband has been added to a WhatsApp group where they post rentals. So we know that we should be looking for a rental. We're doing that. But nothing else has really like felt very urgent to us. So I think once we have that conversation, things will start feeling a bit more urgent. I actually saw a TikTok the other day. A girl was talking about how to leave the US and move to Costa Rica, but how to like move countries, because people obviously think that it's very difficult. Like most people are not like me, who moves countries all the time. Most people would think, okay, moving countries, that's going to be really difficult. There's so much to do. And I know I'm not moving countries this time, but because we have to get a plane there, and we have to like sell and get rid of all of our stuff, it feels like we're moving countries. And because we're moving from a city to the beach, but yeah, it's not technically a different country. But yeah, about how people must find that very difficult and overwhelming and think that there's a lot to it, enough so that she made a whole like TikTok about it and about her journey. And I was like, oh, maybe that's content that people need. How much is Wi-Fi over there per month? So our internet bill is 100 real. Yeah, 100 real a month, which in Aussie dollars is about $30 to $35, depending on the exchange rate. I just opened a bank account here, by the way. That was one thing that I had on my list of stuff to do before moving, and I did it. Oh, you need to go make the appointment for your license. So just remembered he needs to do something too. Yeah, so I've opened a bank account. So now when I get an investor, he has somewhere to send the money, or she. Yay. So this is what I'm talking about, using intuition in your daily life, right? So we had thought about moving in July because that's the kids' school holidays, right? So we used our logical minds to come up with a sensible decision to move in July. However, neither of us have felt our intuition particularly pulling us towards that date, because we haven't done anything. We hadn't done anything in order to move in July, right? And I had been saying it to you guys on here, like, we're moving in July, but we haven't done anything. And that's because we hadn't felt like it. Our intuition hadn't said it was time to start doing things. And initially, I think it was because we didn't have this opportunity. So the opportunity to go and take over somebody else's hotel, right? No, I'm not from Brazil. I'm from the UK, but I live in Brazil. And so we were kind of waiting for our intuition to kick in, and we hadn't done anything about the move at all other than talking about it, until we got this opportunity 2 weeks ago to move to Bahia to take over the hotel in Caraíva, and then I felt like doing things. I'm just going to go and grab the tripod because I realise I'm moving my hand around. And then I felt like doing things. Then I felt like writing lists. Then I felt like throwing out, going through our things and starting to throw things out. Then I felt like, looking through cupboards to see what food I need to use up and stuff like that, right? My intuition was pointing me to do these things because it was time to move. And so interestingly, if you do want to move countries, your intuition will be able to tell you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. So today, my intuition had me open a bank account, which has been on my to-do list for a while. Again, not moving countries, moving states, but same. And so you don't need to know all the steps to create a big change in your life. You don't need to know from start to finish everything that you have to do. It's like when you buy a house or something, it feels really overwhelming. You're like, for the first time, right? Do you remember buying a house for the first time? Have you bought a house? Because like you find the house and then it's like, okay, well now what do I do? Like I have to get a mortgage. How do I get a mortgage? I have to like furniture and like it feels really overwhelming until you start doing it, and then it's just one step at a time. Now I feel like I'm really low down. What's up from Brazil? You got money to put in it? Oh, in my bank account? Yes, I do, Anthony. I do have money to put in my bank account now that I'm working, now that everything is working out exactly as I had hoped. I'm just gonna get this tripod. Bom dia, gringa. Hi, Julia. Bom dia. Hi, Anna Clara. I'm so happy about that. I'm so happy too. I'm just going to do a plait. I didn't have time to do a plait on the other side. So that's why I needed the phone out of my hands, really. I'm so happy about that too. So Anthony is referring to the fact that for a long time, I quit my job because I didn't like it. It didn't feel like it was in alignment. My intuition was not into it. It had been good to start with. I was able to expand and grow. I was able to learn how to confront people on the phone, which was a big problem area for me before. And after I had expanded and grown into the role and taken everything from it that I needed to, I was afraid to let it go because it was my family's only source of income. So I was afraid to quit the role and have no money again, because after we had to move countries 3 times and lose all our savings, we'd had no money for a really long time. And so it was really scary, but I stayed in the role for a while trying to make it work, and it didn't. Like, my intuition was just like, no, we have to, like, this, you're done with this job, like, you have to quit. So I quit with no plan B back in like February. And then from February until April, we had no income at all. Like, we were just racking up credit card bills. We were like, it was really scary. And I was just doing what I know how to do. I was just doing what felt good. I was just following my intuition. I was coaching. I was coming live on TikTok every single day. And then shortly after the eclipse, everything just started falling into place and money started flowing to me. And now I'm doing something that I really enjoy. I'm actually only working a couple of hours a day still, and I'm making more money than we need. So I still get to coach, and everything just has worked out perfectly. But it got really, really scary from February till until like the end of April. I started at the beginning of May, so February till the end of April was really scary time for us with no money coming in. And also another reason that we hadn't really made any plans for our move, because we weren't really sure how we were going to move with no money. Like, when you move, you need money to, do lots of stuff. Hi, Miguel Augusto. It's going great, thank you. Hey, welcome back, Gabriel. Because it wasn't sexy once it wasn't forbidden. What's that? Oh my gosh, you guys are chatting away in the chat and I missed it. What about that video I sent you about getting that checkup? Yeah, Anthony, I really want to do that. Oh, you like my hairstyle? Thank you. It's a new one, actually. I try and like mix it up every day, and sometimes it's just a small variation, like a plait in the bunch. Were you sent by someone who wanted me dead? What do you mean, Gabrielle? Hi, Maddie. Hello. Welcome. Tell us what's happening today. I was going to hop onto your page, but your time zone is like 5 hours or 4 hours, I think, behind mine. So I always remember to go on your page like early in the morning, and then you haven't made your content yet. So I need today's update. Were you writing a book? Are any of your comments going to make sense, Gabriel? That is my question. Hi, Neymar. In 50 years, will all this be declassified? It's already declassified. It's on TikTok. Good morning. How are you? Great. And you'll confess why you did it. Ooh. Okay. So the chat was not anything that I needed to see. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Like, I used to make all my content first thing in the morning, and like that felt really good because it was done. But sometimes life gets in the way, right? And you don't want to start thinking about that first thing in the morning. But then I always have this like feeling in me like, oh, I should have done it. I didn't do it. I should have done it. And then all day it's like, do it, go do it, go do it. But I've always been like that. I was like the kid that did my homework. The second I got home from school, I was like the one handing in my projects at university like a week after they got handed out, not the day they were supposed to be handed in. Like, I've got to get my shit done. That's just how I roll. I don't want it to become work, but I must get it done. Yeah, it's like, what's the word? I always like smoke before these lives, and and then I have word blanks. Obligation. You don't want it to be an obligation, right? Yeah, same. And I think like for me, one of the best ways I've had of like not making it be an obligation is by not making myself do it every day. Like if I don't feel like doing it that day, I won't do it that day, and I won't make myself feel bad about it. So like I didn't make any content, I think Friday, Saturday, I think I did one Sunday night because I was sick. I had the virus on Friday. I was so sick. So like I didn't make myself feel bad about that. You know, I was sick. I didn't make it. Whatevs. Pick it up again on Sunday. Done. My daughter's over there being a rascal, right? Rascalet. Yeah, so I'm finding that balance. So everyone, Maddie and me are going to do a live next Friday together, and we are going to talk about all things astrology and intuition and how you can use astrology to superpower your intuition. Because I've had people on here before asking me about like, you know, how can you use your intuition and follow yourself and your own guidance, and also follow the guidance from the sky, like astrology and the planets and that. But it all ties in together. It all works together. Your intuition works with the planets because your intuition is energy, as you are energy, as astrology is all about energy. It's all energy. It's all energetic pulls. And so I find, and you will probably find as well, because often I watch Maddie's astrology updates retrospectively because she's in a different time zone to me. So I'll watch yesterday's, you know. And so for me, it's not about planning what I'm going to do that day. It's often about recapping on what I did the day before and seeing if that actually ties in. Although using astrology preemptively, like as a map, is obviously a very powerful tool. I do that as well. I do follow other creators that are in earlier time zones that allows me to do that. But I will often, like 99% of the time, find that when I watch Maddie's updates and she's saying like this is a good day for this or whatever, that I have done that the day before. So just last week, she had done a TikTok about like it being a good time to get started with projects. It was something like this, and I had literally spent my day writing lists. Like, it's like that. So that's how you use astrology with your intuition. Yes, it is magical, helps you find your blind spots. Oh my God, I'm sure there's so much stuff that astrology can do that I don't even know about yet. And we were talking this morning in my community. Link is in the bio, people. Come join, everything is free there. We were talking there this morning about human design and gene keys. One of the members has been looking into her gene keys and her human design. And I don't know anything about gene keys. Like, I've heard of it. I know loosely. I don't even really know loosely what it is. I have no idea what it is. And I do love human design. I do know about human design a little bit. I know about my own anyway, my family's. And so sorry, I'm just reading the chat. Sorry, Maddie. Yeah, I should have said it's on Two Girls Talk Transits. Let me pin this comment. There we go, guys. This is Maddie's channel. So you can get your daily astrology updates there, unless she doesn't feel like doing them one day, which she's not going to feel bad about, right, Maddie? Maybe she doesn't feel like it one day. Maybe the astrology says, take a day off today. But every other day, there she is. So yeah, and we were talking about human design and gene keys, and I want to get more astrology talk in there as well. I really love astrology, and I feel like astrology kind of pulls together all of these other like areas, gene keys, human designs, basically anything that uses your date of birth, right? So yes, that's what's been going on in the community today. People, don't forget to join. Link is in my bio. Everything there is free. And today I posted content on how to communicate with your intuition, how to follow your intuition. And I want to do more coaching videos in there because I've been doing a lot of written content recently. Hi, Moriel. Bon dia, Junior. Don't we need sometimes... Ow, watch your feet, rascal. Ow. Move your foot, move your foot. Yeah. She's got her shoes on and she's sitting on me. Don't we need sometimes to let feelings escape so we don't store away too much to explode later? Excellent question and point, Moriel. So I love your terminology there. Don't we need to let feelings escape? That's super cute. And yeah, I love that word for it. So I talk about this often. There are 4 common ways of dealing with feeling. I almost did 3. There are 4 common ways of dealing with feelings. The first one is to suppress or repress them, which means to push them down, muddle through, and just kind of move on. Then don't touch that, darling. Then there is avoidance, which is where you just try and avoid your feelings. So you start eating too much, or you start drinking too much to get drunk, or smoking too much, or you go to the gym and throw yourself into working out, or you go to work and throw yourself into a project. Whatever it is, you're trying to avoid your feelings. The other one is expression. So this is when you let your feelings out. So you're not letting them escape, but when you push your feelings out, like you force your feelings out, you use your voice and your body language to project your feelings out onto other people, out into the space around you. And then there's feeling your feelings, which I love the term escape, letting your feelings escape, which is, yes, feeling them, allowing your feelings to move freely through your body, not being afraid of them, not labeling them, not judging them, but simply feeling them. And that is exactly what we need to be doing. That is emotional intelligence. That is emotional intelligence, feeling your feelings so that you can control them. Because the thing is, when you feel your feelings, you're able to become aware of how you react to them. And when you bring awareness to your reactions, you're finding your triggers, you're finding your subconscious programming, you're figuring out. It's like astrology, it's like gene keys, it's like human design, actually, because all of these things help you figure out how you are best able to navigate your reality, right? And feeling your feelings is also a really powerful way of doing that. It's a way of figuring out how to navigate your reality by bringing awareness to your subconscious programming. Oh my golly gosh, I feel like I want to hang on, I'm just gonna check the time marker on this because I need to make a video out of this genius that has just intuitively come to me. 30 minutes in, excellent. Yeah, so oh my god, I'm so excited about this realization. Feeling your feelings and emotional intelligence is similar to astrology, human design, gene keys, because it allows you to figure out what subconscious programs are running, controlling, creating your reality. Oh my gosh, okay. No need to apologise, Moriel. You sent me off on a little tangent there that I really loved. So using astrology, you're able to dig into your you're able to dig into your star sign, right? You use astrology to dig into your star sign, your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, all of your signs, and you're able to use that information to figure out like your kind of map for life. Human design the same, gene keys presumably the same. I need to learn about gene keys, I don't know yet. But feeling your feelings is also an amazing tool to do this, because we are run by our personage, our human, our meat sack is run by subconscious programming. These are the stories that we tell ourselves about reality. These are the meanings that we have attached to things, right? So like I've attached the meaning of a chair to this object, okay? I see this object and I attach a meaning of a chair, right? I attach the word chair to it, and I also attach the meaning I can go and sit in it, okay? This is a tripod. I have attached the meaning of a tripod to this here device. This is my rubbish area and my gardening area. I've attached this meaning, right? So that's what it is. I attach meaning to things all day long. That's how our brains work, right? Something happens, we have 5 senses with which to register what has happened, and our brain records that information. Cherry. Sorry. Our brain records that information. Our brain records what we saw, what we smelt, what we tasted, what we felt, what we heard, and associates it with that situation, with that object, with that person, whatever it is, right? That's what our brains are, meaning-making machines. And our brains uses all of that information that it collected in the past to project meaning onto things in our present. That's how our brain works. So humans, by a function of our design, bring our past into our present and project it out into our future all the time. That's how we're wired. That's what we do, right? But that's how we limit ourselves. That's how we get stuck. We get stopped because we're always telling ourselves that we can't do things because it's not the way it was before, or because it's not the way it was for somebody else, because our brain has created these limitations, these stories. And God, I'm on such a rant right now. Does anyone want to ask me a coaching question? Feel free to butt in and ask me a coaching question, or say something so that I can pause this monologue. Okay, Moriel. You don't want to bring some past, so you enhance it as much as you deny its existence. I'm just going to go hop in here now because both the kids are awake, watching their iPad. Sorry, I have to go, but have a great day. No worries, Maddie. Thank you for popping in. And everybody, don't forget to go follow Maddie. She's going to be live with me. We haven't figured out the details yet, but it will be sometime next Friday, talking all things astrology and intuition. Marielle, so sorry, I skipped over your comment. You don't want to bring some past, so you enhance it as much as you deny its existence. Yeah, so this has got to do with how you feel your feelings as well, right? Some past you don't want to bring into your future, so you repress it, you push it down, or you avoid it, right? Because you don't want to bring it into the present. So like an example of this is when I moved from... The dog's drinking my drink from my pepper cup. When I moved from Australia to Brazil, it was really hard. It was really hard. We had a 4-month-old and a 2-year-old. We had all of our bags. We had 14, I think there were 14 suitcases all together. And bear in mind, the kids aren't carrying their own suitcases. We are carrying the kids and their suitcases. So 14 suitcases, 2 babies. It was 3 flights. Our initial flights got cancelled, like last minute. So we had to rebook and go on a much longer route, which took 36 hours, 2 17-hour flights, and then one 1.5-hour flight, with 2 babies and all these bags. And it was awful. It was awful. It was so uncomfortable. It was so... it was just awful. Just imagine flying 2 17-hour flights with 2 babies. So cramped, so uncomfortable. We couldn't sleep because one of the babies would be awake. Like, terrible. Anyway, if I projected that past experience out into my future, I would probably never move again, because that experience was enough to put me off moving forever. I would probably never do it again, because my brain would think to myself, oh, last time you moved, it was like this. So next time you move, it's going to be like this as well. So that was to go to Brazil. That was when we moved from Australia to Brazil. Later that year, we moved from Brazil to the UK. We stayed there for 3.5 months. Then we moved back from the UK to Brazil. And now we're in Brazil, we're in Goiás. And in August, we will move from Goiás to Bahia. So not moving countries this time, but we do have to go on a plane, and we do have to get rid of all of our stuff. So even though we're not moving countries, it feels like we're moving countries. Also, it's like 17 hours away. So like if you were in England and you moved 17 hours away, that would be a different country. Oh, you're in Goiás too. Hi, Carlos. I get a few people from Goiás on here. They are usually from Goiânia. I'm not in Goiânia. I'm close to Brasilia. I'm going to Brasilia tomorrow, actually. So yeah, the point is this: you don't want to bring your past experiences into your current experience or into what you think of future experiences, because if it went badly, or what you judge as badly, it's going to put you off doing that. And if it went well, then it's going to give you certain expectations about how it should go this time. And if it doesn't match up to those expectations, you're going to give it a negative connotation. So the way we're wired, the way that our brains work by projecting our past out into our future, is actually very limiting. And the whole point of emotional intelligence and working on your emotional intelligence is allowing yourself to bring awareness to those stories, to those limitations when they're getting in your way, so that you can choose to change them and to control them, to control your emotions, so that you can control your experience. I've got about 10 minutes left. So if you guys have any more questions or comments that you would like to make, please pop them in the chat now so that we have time to talk about them. Also, I just need a break from talking for a second. For me, Brasilia is near, like 30 minutes car trip. But Guyana is like 3 hours. You must live super close to me. I live close to Valparaiso. Do you know Valparaiso? Now, on the topic, what made you interested in mental health? It was really random, Muriel. I didn't think I had any interest in it at all. And especially any interest on working with other people. So I always had like an interest in psychology. Like I was going to study psychology at school, but I didn't get into that school. So I didn't study psychology. But the part of it that put me off was the fact that you would just have to like listen to other people's nonsense and validate their victimhood. Because whenever I've seen psychologists, like as a patient, that's what they do. They listen to you for hours and then they tell you that you're right. You're a victim. Well done. And then they give you coping mechanisms or whatever. And so that never really sat well with me. And it was last year, my intuition suddenly, I was heavily involved in a community. We were learning about following your intuition in this community. And the more I learned about following intuition and feeling your feelings in order to follow your intuition, the more it resonated with me, the more I was like, yeah, this is how I already live my life. This is what I do. And because I got it real quick, because I was already doing it. I was already living that way intuitively. What a coincidence. And so people in the community started coming to me for advice on how to follow their intuition and how to feel their feelings, because I got it, right? Like they could see in the community that I got it. And that led to a discovery in myself that I wanted to become a coach and actually like formally coach people on following their intuition and improve their emotional intelligence. So then I went off and studied and did some retreats and courses in order to do that. And the more I did it, the more I was coaching people, the more clients that I got, the more sessions that I had, the more I learned about coaching, the more I realized I've just been doing it my whole life. And it's funny because, as I said, I used to think like, oh, psychologists, like how can they listen to people all day? Like, why are they always validating people? Why are they always helping people to become victims? Like kind of thinking negatively about it. But actually, in my real life, in my friendship groups, and as the owner of a business that employed 75 staff, I played that role. I played that problem solver role. People came to me with their problems, and I've always been very experimental, which I believe has led me to being very non-judgmental. So like in my friendship groups, if people had done something they felt ashamed of or they thought that other people would judge them for, I was the one they would come to because they would know they're not going to get judged by me. And so just my whole life I've been doing it. And I didn't realize. And so my intuition, like when I said it to myself, like, oh my God, do I want to like be a coach? And I had all these negative connotations about using the word coach because, you know, I've seen these coaches on TikTok, these life coaches, so many coaches starting businesses. And I was like, I don't want to be just another one of those coaches on the internet, just another one of those idiots on TikTok that's like, do what I did and make 10K in a month. And so it took me a long time to get over that because my brain was projecting my past experiences of coaching, right, out into my future. And it took me several months to just get over myself and get out of my way and be like, okay, no, actually, like I have some real value to add. And when I started live coaching on TikTok, the feedback that I was getting from people, like, thank you so much, like you've changed my life. Your advice has like has made me money. Your advice has helped me find love. Your advice was the turning point in like my depression. Whatever it was, the more of that feedback I got, the more I was just like, yeah, like this feels good. This feels like what I'm put on earth to do. It was a really long answer, sorry. I mean, it must be interesting to get to know some people's mind, like the insights, how they were. Oh my God, so much. I am so nosy. I am so nosy. I want to know all about everybody. I want to know what your house looks like. I want to know what the inside of your mind looks like. I want to know the intimate details of your relationships. Like, I am so nosy. And I think that's partly why I've become like a good listener and good at helping people navigate experiences, because not only have I had a lot of experience in my own life, but I also have a lot of other people's experiences that I can learn from and take lessons from, because people do tell me their deep, dark secrets. And I keep those secret. Like I may love to know, but I don't necessarily love to share. And so I'm able to learn from other people's experiences and how they're mine. And every time I coach, I learn, like I take as much from it as my clients, because I'm learning more, you know, and then I use that knowledge to help more people, and it just grows exponentially. Good morning, English teacher. The different and uncommon mechanisms, feelings, decision making, it can be so unpredictable. Yeah, it's so unpredictable and so different for everybody. And that's as well why I love like astrology and human design, because I find these tools do help to like categorize people and help me see the differences, why they think differently to me. When I say to somebody, it's easy to communicate with your intuition, you just get a feeling in your body, or a vision in your mind, and that other person is like, I don't see visions in my mind, like I hear voices, and I'm like, oh, that's not your intuition. But for them it is, you know, because they just think differently, their brain works differently, they don't see visions, they hear voices. So human design helps me learn about other people from that perspective as well. I just love learning about other people. I'm a teacher and I teach Spanish. Amazing. You have stretchy looking cheeks. Okay. Like they should stretch. Maybe they are stretchy. I never thought about it. Anywho, our time is up, unfortunately. That was, I loved that session. Thank you so much for your insightful questions, Mario. Please come back again. It was lovely to meet you. I will be back on Friday. So I'm going to be on, I'm hoping to come on Thursday, but it's going to be a little bit earlier than usual, and it all depends on if I can get my kid to sleep. If I can, I'm going to pop on for half an hour at 10:30 Brasilia time on Thursday. If not, I will be back usual time on Friday. Tomorrow, I'm going to the doctor's and I have about 10,000 meetings. So I'm not going to be on tomorrow. But Thursday, hopefully I can squeeze half an hour in. Thank you so much, Julio. So, guys, don't forget to hit follow so that you get notified when I go live next. Also, please do join my community. The link is in my bio. It's completely free. My coaching content is all available in the community for free. Other coaches post similar coaching content. Feel free to post any insightful content that you come across or you have of your own. It is a community, an active community, where I want all participants to feel free to share whatever they feel like sharing, with their lives and their experiences and their reality. I wonder if there's people without audio-visual thought processes. Yes, there are. Sentience, clairsentience, that's when you feel things. And actually, this is mainly what I have, clairsentience, where I feel rather than see or hear. There's some people that have smell, which I find really strange. Anthony, good morning. I'm just about to hop off, but thank you. Bom dia. Então, ciao, pessoal. Goodbye, guys.